$10,000 or front row Taylor Swift tickets?
Front row Taylor Swift tickets.
I thought so, girl. I thought so.
Get ready with me to go to the Eras tour.
Guys, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but I just found out that I got invited to go to the Eras tour in Miami.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the Eras tour is not an influencer event. Like, the fact that there are brand trips to go to the Eras tour is absolutely making me fume.
So you're telling me that people are upset because these huge brands are sending influencers to the last part of the Taylor Swift Eras tour? Brands have literally been doing this for years. So
the problem that I have with this is how hard it is to get Eras tickets. I can't get them. I cannot get my hands on them, and I would love to be there right now.
I almost feel like with Tarte that their marketing team is doing some type of like rage bait, because there's no way that they don't know by now that what they do like pisses people off, like sending influencers to the Eras tour even though they've already been multiple times. Like,
scene where people are like frustrated with Tarte. I don't know, it's either that A, they don't understand like marketing and business as a whole, and B, they're just bitter and upset that they themselves couldn't have gone, and so they're just kind of using that bitterness and lashing out.
Put a finger down if you were trying to get Taylor Swift tickets for multiple months and failed multiple times, and then were invited by a brand to go and see them tonight and were so excited you made so much content about it, told everyone you were going and couldn't wait, planned 8 different outfits for it, and had been listening to Taylor Swift 24/7 for the past 2 days just to be uninvited by the brand for reasons out of your control. I'm not seeing Taylor Swift tonight.
Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So there is drama that is slightly brewing where Taylor Swift fans feel like it's completely unfair for brands to pay for Eras tour tickets and give it to influencers. Worst of all, influencers who are not even fans of Taylor Swift or her music. And when it comes to this topic, I feel like I can be balanced and see it from both sides. And I say this because I'm an unofficial fan of Taylor Swift. I know a lot of her songs, and I also know some parts of her personal life, like her romantic relationships, and I do admire her as an artist, so I'll be able to sympathize and see it from the point of views from the fans who have an emotional connection to Taylor and her tour. But I'm also not a diehard fan who knows every single little detail about her life, like the names of her cats and the meaning behind every song. So I'll be able to be objective and give a more balanced view by being able to look at it from the brand's perspective who is thinking about profits and brand visibility. So in this video, I want to look at the situation from the perspective of the fans who are emotionally attached to Taylor, and also from the perspective of brands who are only really thinking about the bottom line. So if you're interested in a topic like this, and without talking too much, then let's get right into it. So let's start from the top and really focus on the Eras tour because it's basically the bone of contention. I feel like if this was any other event, if it was any other artist, people wouldn't really have a problem. But because it's the Eras tour, which is quite frankly a first of its kind, it's breaking all sorts of records all over the world. Taylor Swift has an army of fans. Quite frankly, I think she has a nation of fans because an army is simply too small to categorize Taylor Swift fans. And they all want to attend the tour, they all want to see her perform, and she's not just performing based on an album, she is performing a decade's worth of music. And for a lot of Taylor Swift fans, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. There's no guarantee that she's going to do an Eras Tour Part 2, and so because the tour is so sought after, a lot of fans have put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and money just to be able to attend.
They'll be shopping, they'll be dining. Bottom line, the Swifties will be spending. When Taylor's Eras Tour hits Toronto for 6 shows in November, a whopping 240,000 fans will be in attendance.
We're expecting over $150 million in visitor spending. That's people staying at hotels, eating at restaurants, having other evening activities on days other than the days they're going to the concert. It's a real impact in the city. And then that $150 million, once it's in our economy, it continues to cycle through the economy. So we actually see an overall economic impact of over $280 million.
That might just turn Doug Ford into a Swiftie.
I can't wait until she comes here and drives economic growth.
There's not just the concert, there's also the spin-off events the tour has inspired as well, like the Toronto Tailgate Party at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre.
The main problem with the Eras Tour is that the supply simply doesn't meet the demand. There are too many fans, especially fans going to multiple shows, that there simply aren't enough tickets, tour dates and seats to fill the demand of people that want to see Taylor. And I want to remind you of what happened a couple months back with Ticketmaster, where fans were literally trying to order their tickets and the site basically shut down.
I don't know why there's this error, but it won't let me check out every time. It just keeps popping up and I don't know why. And all the good tickets are taken. And I'm so upset right now. I even put on my Taylor Swift shirt.
This is a PSA to everyone to go change your passwords on your Ticketmaster account, because last night at 3 a.m. someone logged into mine and stole my Eras Tour ticket. Now, you might be saying, this girl is so overly emotional, what's going on? I have tried to get Eras Tour tickets every single time and I've never gotten chosen. It's okay, I don't have beef about it, because finally, by having the couple on a credit card, I got a little sprinkle of, she's a little lucky one. I logged on at the earliest I could have. I was literally 300 in line and I got my tickets. They're not crazy good tickets or expensive or anything, but it's all I could afford, and I was so excited to go to the Eras Tour. Then I woke up this morning and saw that my tickets had been transferred to someone else. And I was like, this must be spam. I thought that the email might be funky, but it wasn't. It was literally from Ticketmaster. I logged into my Ticketmaster account and it said that my transfer had been completed.
And here's a great example of that. This woman attempted to buy tickets so she and her daughters could go see Taylor Swift, but she's disabled, so she needed an accessible area. Even though other customers could buy 4 tickets, they told her she could only buy 1 accessible ticket and a companion ticket. And she ended up spending the equivalent of $2,300 US so she could go to France and see it with her kids all together. Now, Ticketmaster has apologized, but they have not changed the policy. If you say sorry and don't make a change, you were never really sorry in the first place.
Earlier today, the Department of Justice, joined by 29 states and the District of Columbia, sued Live Nation Entertainment and its wholly owned subsidiary Ticketmaster for violating the Sherman Antitrust Act. In recent years, Live Nation Ticketmaster's exorbitant fees and technological failures have been criticized by fans and artists alike. But we are not here today because Live Nation Ticketmaster's conduct is inconvenient or frustrating. We are here because, as we allege, that conduct is anti-competitive and illegal. Our complaint makes clear what happens when a monopolist dedicates its resources to entrenching its monopoly power and insulating itself from competition rather than investing in better products and services. We allege that Live Nation has illegally monopolized markets across the live concert industry in the United States for far too long. It is time to break it up.
And so even regular fans who got the opportunity to buy tickets, they are already pretty hated by other Swifties who didn't get the chance to go. There's this feeling of, oh, you're super lucky to be able to get this opportunity to buy tickets, or you're so wealthy in order to be able to go to multiple tour dates while I couldn't even get a single ticket. And those negative feelings are still there. However, because the people that are going to Taylor Swift concerts are on average super fans, people can't really complain. But now that you have non-fans attending simply because it was paid for and they kind of have to be there if they want to have a relationship with the brand, it makes it easier for people to voice out their concerns. And those negative feelings and feeling like they are left out of something that they want to be a part of comes to the surface. The next thing that I want to talk about before we actually get into influencers at the Eras Tour is a brand trip or a brand event. A brand trip is a marketing strategy that is used by companies in order to promote their brands to a wider audience. They invite influencers and other content creators on an all-expense paid vacation or experience. And when it comes to most brand trips, the influencers are not really paid directly. Instead, they are being paid with the experience. And in return, the brand expects them to make content, post about the product, and encourage their audience to buy or support the brand. This is also a great way for a brand to have a lifelong relationship with an influencer in order to send them products which they will push to their audience organically. I want to show you a video of how exactly a brand trip is planned and organized, because I want you to understand that it's not something that just happens on a whim. There's a lot of planning that goes into it, and there are a lot of details that have to be ironed out before the trip actually starts. once you see just how much effort and time goes into planning the entire thing, you begin to understand why people easily get offended when a brand trip or a brand does something that's either offensive to customers or they hurt the feelings of an influencer, because you can see that they planned everything out. So every potentially offensive action or any controversy is something that they meant to do.
Have you ever wondered what it's like working behind the scenes of influencer brand trip? Well, my name's Alani. I work in PR for the Air and Beauty team, and we're headed upstate to celebrate the launch of our newest fragrance, Amber Musk Santal. Working in the car per usual on the face sheet before the guests come. We've spent months planning this trip, and I'm so excited to finally show you. The vibe for this brand trip was upstate chic, and Wildflower Farms definitely delivered. It gives rustic, it gives cozy, perfect for fall, and honestly, an influencer's dream. I was first to arrive, so I did a quick little outfit check before I went to work because I am working, and then went downstairs to check on our production team to see the status of the room drops and florals. Once that was approved, we made our way to the first room to do a sample of the room drop, and guys, look at this property. I mean, it's breathtaking, stunning. It's really all about the small details, like everything needs to be perfect. Here is the florals, the fragrances all together. Added our Estee Lauder skincare in the room, as well as a turn-down gifting for after dinner. We really want all of our guests to feel special and celebrate this moment with us. It's really all about the small details. After room drops, we got a small bite to eat, and then I was told my room was ready so I can check in. The hotel has golf carts to shuttle guests around, and guys, look at my room. I mean, it was really a pinch me moment. I'm so blessed and so humbled to work on such an amazing brand like this.
I went on an influencer brand trip, not as an influencer, but as someone who works for the brand. And here is how the weekend went. For this brand trip, we were hosting 8 influencers and their plus ones. We started off the weekend with a welcome dinner to welcome these influencers.
Hey guys, it's Indiana.
Hey guys, I'm Jordy. I'm Tila Dunn. I'm Carrington.
I'm Katrina.
I'm Jillian. I'm Micah. And I'm Maya.
We started off each morning with brunch served, and then we all got glammed, including us that works on the influencer marketing team, and then the influencers, of course. As someone on the influencer marketing team, my job this weekend was to host, make sure all the girls were having a good time, but also making sure that they were all getting their content in over the weekend. Each day we headed to the festival around 3 p.m. This is me and some of my coworkers. We also took the party bus to Stagecoach. So one of the reasons we hosted this influencer brand trip was because we had an activation on the festival grounds. So we took all of the influencers there and made sure we got a ton of content for our socials and their socials, because they did have requirements to post through the weekend in exchange for the trip. After all that was said and done, we were able to really enjoy the festival, go see all the performers, and just really have a good time. Again, my job was to host the girls and make sure that they had a fun experience through the weekend, and we definitely had a great time together. And that concluded the influencer brand trip to Stagecoach.
So as I mentioned earlier, influencers are not paid directly to attend these brand events. And because of that, these brands have to compensate these influencers with expensive things and luxurious experiences. So that's why most brand trips are usually in some kind of tropical location, or they're staying in the fanciest of hotels, and they're also usually gifted luxury items like bags, bracelets, and things of that nature. So if you think about it, what is currently the most sought after thing? What is that thing that's hard to get that everyone wants to experience and is currently trending all over the news and on social media? If the answer wasn't obvious, it's the Eras Tour. And I want to compare it to the Super Bowl because every year it's a huge event and it's supposed to be football fans going to see who will become the champion. However, every single year you have celebrities and you also have regular people who are not even fans of football still attending these events. Sometimes they buy the most expensive seats, and they are usually attending these events simply because it's something that everyone is talking about and they don't want to be left out. And the same thing is happening right now with the Eras Tour. It's this huge moment in pop culture and entertainment, and everyone wants a piece of that pie. Even if they're not fans, they still want the opportunity to be able to say that they attended and got to experience this once-in-a-lifetime event. So now that we understand the value of the Eras Tour, let's try to understand why exactly brands chose the Eras Tour for their brand trips. I'm going to start off with the point that I made earlier, that it's a trending topic, therefore the brands are trying to have a positive association. One thing that's really hard to do is to get people's attention, especially online. And it's also really hard to get people's attention when their attention is fully focused on something else. And in this case, it's Taylor Swift and her Eras Tour. So if a brand is trying to be smart and to make their money go a long way and to get their name and products out there, why not get a bunch of influencers to make content around something that's trending organically while also pushing your products? And something that I noticed a lot with the influencers, they didn't put a hashtag ad or let it be explicitly known that they were being sponsored by these brands. They would either tag them or just use their products. And so for people who are not fans of the influencer or sometimes not even fans of the brand, when they are going through the hashtags or they get a video that pops up on their For You page, they're just gonna think, okay, here is this influencer or this random girl using this product or wearing this outfit from a brand that I've never heard of, and so I'm gonna shop with them as well. And so I think a lot of brands were just trying to maximize the attention that comes from the tour and divert it to their brand and to their products. Moving on to my second point, I think that brands were also trying to buy favor with influencers, because one thing you have to know about a brand trip is that it's all about building connections. And it's not exclusively about influencers building connections with other influencers, it's also about employees of the brand making connections with these influencers. It's also going to be easier for the brand to send future products to that influencer because of that connection. And if and when those influencers receive the product, they are most likely going to over-exaggerate how much they like the product because they want the brand to recognize that they are loyal.
That I completely regret buying. I want to like this. I do. I want to like it, but the wand is too big and it works almost too well. Like once you get those brow hairs in place, wow. All right, let's see. This has fragrance in it. And it smells like really good. Really nice and cold. I mean, it doesn't look like it's gonna go anywhere, but as you can see, it very easily combed through. Didn't all my brows look so good? Holy shit. They look so fluffy.
Moving on to my last point, I feel like sometimes the reason why brands do these luxurious and over-the-top brand trips is because they know that if they do anything less, they will be made fun of online. And if you look at it from a consumer's point of view, how are you supposed to trust a brand making cosmetics, skincare, and clothes sell you on the brand and the product if they can't even create a nice brand trip? If they seem cheap and unreliable, you will think the same for their products and their brand as well. Basically, people want the appearance of luxury, of something that looks expensive, of something that feels like a lot of effort was put into it. And so the brands try to respond accordingly and give out the most prestigious, the most expensive, and the most quote-unquote amazing experience, hoping that it reflects positively on their brand because they hope that customers will look at these experiences and think, wow, this brand must know what they're doing, because if they can organize this super luxurious brand trip, then all the products that they make are probably made in the best factories and the workers are super happy and everything is perfect. And now that we've kind of looked at it from the brand's perspective, I do have some critiques because I feel like there's always room for improvement. So I'm gonna start off with the concept of what feels fair and what feels unfair. Influencers are kind of looked down upon, and people feel like influencers are super entitled, they're super wealthy, but they don't do a lot of work.
Oh yeah, of course. Here, let me do this TikTok really quick. Yeah, I'll get out of it.
And so giving people who are perceived as having everything more things feels unfair. Because apart from these influencers actually getting tickets to go to the tour, sometimes their flights, accommodation, food, and activities are paid for. And on top of that, they get free gifts.
I just made it to Miami and Lacroix decorated our little hotel room and I'm gonna show you all of the goodies. It's so cute. I literally want to cry. Also, I literally just got off of my flight and it's midnight, but I'm showing you a haul. We got these snacks over here and look at this bedazzled Lacroix. Are you kidding? The strawberry peach? Like, I want to try it, but also I want to check my bag just to keep this cute little can. Little cup. Oh, this is like still cold too. Some snackies. Look, in our Lacroix era, how cute. And it looks like a friendship bracelet. We got some cookies thanks to our hotel sponsor. Then we also have these goodies on the bed, little towel, hat, speaker, all of this. And look, this is a pop socket, which is going to be perfect to put on my phone. We also have a clear bag, some hand sanitizer, and a power bank. They know. And look at how cute this clear bag is. This is going to be perfect because these are going to match my outfit for tomorrow. Little friendship bracelet, a little 13 hand tattoo. We have all of these goodies right here. And look, they even put my initial on this cute little bag. We have all of these self-care products you can imagine. Obsessed with this bag from Wander. Some more friendship bracelets. Look at how cute. I don't know who is in charge of making these, but friendship bracelets are not for the week apart. Evermore, Reputation, LaCroix's version, some Laneige. And to end it out, I have my cute little sheet mask for my face. Shout out LaCroix. I'm so excited about this weekend. I'm gonna be vlogging everything. I just seriously cannot get over everything.
And if you look at conversations about influencers being invited to brand trips like Tarte and Dubai, you will realize that the sentiment towards these brand trips and these influencers is not really that favorable. So maybe if it was done a couple years ago, although the sentiment would be negative, it wouldn't be that bad. But the reaction is bad, and it's because people are already tired of expensive brand trips. And when you add the fact that Taylor Swift fans are now part of this whole drama and they have an emotional attachment to Taylor and the tour, the negative sentiment is multiplied by 2.
A slightly controversial video, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And I'm not going to name any names like Pretty Little Thing, ASOS or CeraVe, like I just wouldn't do that. But I really think there's certain brands that should really just stop inviting influencers to sold out tours that some people would pay thousands and thousands of pounds to go to. Have you seen them videos of the internet where there's parents surprising kids with tickets to the Eras Tour, and these kids are so grateful for these tickets, and then you log on to Instagram the next day and there's influencers who have captioned their photos, I wasn't even a fan, but thanks to this brand for inviting me. Maybe if it wasn't a sold out tour and this particular artist needed more exposure, then fine, but I don't think Taylor Swift needs any exposure.
And most people's reactions to something that they feel is unfair is to speak out and to fight back. And moving on to my second point, it's actually something that a lot of fans have voiced out, which is they should have chosen influencers who are already fans of Taylor Swift. Because Taylor Swift is a huge artist, so it wouldn't be that hard to find influencers with huge platforms who just happen to be Swifties. And so seeing how it's such a simple answer or solution, it kind of feels lazy, like they didn't put a lot of effort into making sure that they created an experience that is not only aspirational, but makes sense.
This video is for any brand that has some extra Eras Tour tickets and you're looking for influencers to invite. I'm your girl. I'm currently seeing a lot of influencers at the Miami Eras Tour with brands, and it's people that don't even care about Taylor Swift, don't really know her music, and it's hurting my soul. First of all, I'm a Swiftie, so I would really understand the value and appreciate the money that you guys are spending on these tickets. And number 2, I can make some really good content for your brand. I mean, check out my page. I think I make pretty good content, and we can do even like a year-long deal, and all you have to pay me is in Eras Tour tickets. Please, I'm dying to go. And I can go to any day, any city. I will literally even fly myself to Toronto if I have to. Please just get me in the door. Okay, sorry, I swear I'm not crazy. I'm just a Swiftie who thinks I can create really good content for your brand at the Eras Tour.
There's actually this girl on TikTok who created her account to share how she was making her dress for the Taylor Swift concert. And because she was making this dress by hand and she was also using this intricate beading technique, it garnered her a lot of organic fans. And so while she isn't an influencer, she kind of became an influencer because of the content that she was making around the Eras Tour. And someone like that would be the perfect candidate for a brand trip to the Eras Tour. She would already have a fan base who was dedicated to her and also interested in Taylor Swift. And so if a brand had decided to partner with her, it would look like they were able to recognize her talent while also seeing that she's a fan of Taylor Swift, and therefore their collaboration would make sense. So before I get to the conclusion of the video, I want to talk about influencers and their relationships with brand trips. I think influencers are in a tricky situation because they have to toe the line between being grateful but also showing off what they're doing for their job. And oftentimes they have to seem a little bit vapid. They have to show off the fact that they just got gifted a $10,000 bracelet. They have to show off the fact that they're being flown first class to a private island.
So this morning I got jealous of myself because Jisoo knocked on my door and delivered a full fridge with so many beautiful products. I can now say that I have my own little Jisoo store at home, which is insane and an absolute dream of mine.
I'm in south of France with Jisoo. I got here last night and saw this on my bed and I was just like, look at this. Insane. Like, pink camera, there's no way. What? I love, wow. God, so cute. Bathing suits and this cute little set. I love these towels. Jisoo makeup bag, I'm still in shock. I don't even know what to say, it's insane. Thank you so much, Jisoo.
And although most people understand that it's their job, it's kind of a natural human emotion to feel envy because of their job and the experiences that they get to have because of it. And more specifically, when it comes to brand trips, I understand why influencers want to go despite the possible controversy that could come along with them going. It is an opportunity of a lifetime because not all influencers are wealthy and not all influencers have millions of followers. Some of them are micro-influencers and they are just kind of happy to be invited, and so they will go regardless of what people think because they feel like they may not get this opportunity again. And I get that in situations like this where a brand is inviting you to an all expense paid experience to come and see Taylor Swift, it's not something that you would want to reject. But for example, if you go on such a brand trip, you have to make sure you don't make thoughtless comments like, I'm not really a fan of Taylor Swift, or I don't really like her music, but I came anyway. Even if you're not a huge fan, you could either say nothing and say thank you, or you could say, wow, I really enjoyed going and she's an amazing artist and I had a lot of fun. It's a wonderful experience, and leave it at that. So coming to the conclusion of the video and my final thoughts, the first thing I will say is this. It will always be a business and it will always be about money when it comes to these brands. They don't care how you feel. They don't really care what you think. All they are focused on is how they can push their brand and make as much money as possible. And any controversy or drama that comes their way, they will take it as negative press and they are hoping it will convert to sales. And so this moves me to my second point. Because these brands only care about profits, you have to put your money where your mouth is. I'm not telling you to boycott these brands, and I'm not telling you to not support them because it's really not that serious. But what I am saying is brands only listen and make meaningful change when their bottom line is affected. So if you want them to hear you loud and clear, you have to show them that you mean business by affecting their business. And with that being said, this does bring me to the end of my video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. These are just my thoughts, and I'd love to know yours down in the comment section below. Remember to like this video, it really helps with the algorithm, and if you enjoyed this one, then kindly check out some of my other videos, and subscribe for more content on the way. Again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next video.